Hello, casuals. You're welcome to the Casual Experience Show, where we give you exciting MMA updates and news. And on this episode, I'm here with my friend Wale.
Hi, what's up?
What's been happening in the MMA world? Like, the UFC is on fire. Did you hear of the news that Dana has been giving out? Big news.
A couple of them. I mean, I don't think it's deliberate. Maybe it's the nature trying to reshuffle. There's a natural order happening. Maybe the nature is just trying to reshuffle things in the UFC. A lot of things have remained the same for a long time.
Yes.
You understand? Maybe this new changes might bring up new atmosphere in the UFC.
And it's just big news. It's like they're just intentionally boarding other promotions. Like better to Beef and Bible, they are fighting this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And Cejudo is fighting this weekend. Mm-hmm. But the big news are just overshadowing all these news. Like the first one.
I mean, the names involved in the big news.
Yes.
Are big enough to make main events of any fight.
Yes.
You understand? So, for example, if somebody like Pereira, as big as he is, if he has a fight this weekend and John Jones decides to enter an agreement with Francis Ngannou,
it's overshadowing. Yeah.
Of course, Francis Ngannou, John Jones will be the only thing people will talk about. And it's unfortunate for Cejudo and
Son Yadong,
yeah. And but it is what it is. Big dogs.
I tell you, the biggest news of all is Ilya vacating Ilya Topuria. He's just a gangster.
Ilya seems to me like somebody that has a kind of maniac resolution. Is it resolution or something? Somebody that is fixed or fixated on doing something and doesn't care what he does to achieve it.
And when he's saying it, people are thinking that.
And if it is reminiscent of McGregor when he was, coming into limelight and he was predicting things for himself and he was manifesting those things.
Yes,
he would say, "Oh, I'll do this," and he will go ahead to do it. Every single thing Ilya said he would do, he has done.
He's done it.
You understand?
He said he will knock out Max.
That he's going up to take the belt from Islam.
Yeah.
If it means losing his current belt, he didn't care. Like, he has vacated
that move.
Yeah.
But the what he said was that the weight class is getting, the weight cut is getting too much for him. I don't understand. He's 5'2", and
it's a valid reason though. You don't know how heavy he weighs. He's walking around with
Wale. I did think that guy forgets. We know his aim and mission.
Do you know there are some people like, okay, let me give you an instance. Do you think Daniel Cormier did not lose weight because he was not hardworking?
I didn't get that.
Did you think, Daniel Cormier is a chubby person?
Yeah. Do
you think he was chubby because he was not hardworking?
No, he was. He's always just been that chubby.
It's more difficult for certain people to lose weight than others.
Yes.
You understand? Somebody like Pereira might be able to come to Usman's weight. Pereira might find it comfortable to come down from 205 to 170 seamlessly, while somebody like Adesanya might be finding it hard to make 185.
But
you understand? It depends on how easy your body allows you to lose the weight.
But we are fans. We know what Ilya wants. He's going for that 155 crown, and he's now being the hunter. It's just the move itself. Normally when you're aspiring for greatness in the UFC, it's like you want to be a double champ. You want to do something, but to vacate your belt at your prime and saying, fuck shit, I'm going to go and fight the champion there.
Did you see Volkanovski versus Islam fight?
Yeah.
Was Islam looking to you like he was Islam appearing a lot bigger than Volkanovski in that fight?
No, Volkanovski he's always been a big person, but discipline has always made him.
And Volkanovski fight.
Yeah.
Did you watch the fight? Did you see Ilya was almost appearing more bulkier than Volkanovski?
But the point I'm trying to say now is that the move is not about weight. No be weight be the
But it is
move.
what they put out.
That's what he put out. But we all know that guy. But the question now is that do you think the UFC will just give him the 155
I don't think
title yet?
I think Islam also. I think he said in one interview that he would respect and give Ilya a chance if Ilya can fight somebody in the division before fighting him.
So you think he might give him a dusting?
Ilya is also not going to fight Islam like that.
But
you understand? If Ilya is fighting somebody, maybe he's fighting somebody in maybe he's fighting the third contender, or you understand?
But can you just imagine this? Islam versus Ilia Topuria for the lightweight title, International Fight Week. That's such a mega fight. We've not seen a mega fight like that since Conor McGregor Khabib. And the UFC, that's what they're after.
I think Ilya has that he has that star power.
Yes,
you understand.
And Islam too has his own too.
I even think Ilya has potential to be bigger than Islam.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes,
because the culture, there is this modesty that comes with the Khabib and this
Russian
and Muslims.
Yes,
there's a modesty that comes with their way of life. Ilya is not bound by that restriction.
He's been saying it. He's been saying it all this while that
restriction.
He's been saying it all this while that the Russians don't have anything much than the wrestling. Doesn't even see anything spectacular in the wrestling. So now it seems as if it's like it's a matter of countries now. It's the Georgians versus the Russian, and I feel that's what the US is going to pick up because if they give him a Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier is just looking for a retirement fight. Dustin Poirier just go and put sand inside their gari.
You know, styles make fights, bah. You understand? Styles make fight. If you are not going to take Dustin Poirier down to choke him, I think you are going to have a long night trying to stand and fight.
That's it. So now, do you think the UFC will risk that for someone that vacated his belt?
If UFC is rooting for Ilya to be that next UFC superstar, they won't give him somebody like Dustin Poirier. It's a very high risk fight. For Ilya, not even for Dustin Poirier, because there is nothing Dustin Poirier is.
So what do you see then? They're giving him the belt.
No,
they're giving him the title fight rather.
Let's examine the roster. We have Islam. We have
Poirier, Gaethje.
Let's remove Poirier and Gaethje because these guys have got.
Who do you think? Who do you think Ilya will fight? If they
Fiziev.
Come on, he won't do that now.
Why?
You know, go do that.
Why?
Fiziev
is young.
It's not the age now. Is the height of their stardom is different. They are operating at a different wavelength. Okay. The kind of wavelength Ilya is operating.
You want now see they are like we talked about. There are different ways the fights are made. You understand? Some fights are made for the pay-per-view. For the market value, the sellability of the fight. Some fights are made because of the order of ranking. You understand?
And just the way you said Ilya gives you a Conor McGregor kind of vibes. Ilya has passed that other kind of thing.
So if now let me make my point so you get why I am making I'm coming from this angle. Islam has said Ilya cannot just come to this category and fight me. Against how it has normally been, a champion of a particular weight class can challenge the champion of the higher weight class, and he won't have to fight any contender before he gets the title shot. You understand? They are called champions. They are called champions that respect. But in this situation, Islam has said, you cannot just come to me. You have to go through the ranks. At least fight somebody in this weight class before you can get your shot against me. Now they are paying attention to rankings to match this fight, to make this fight now. They are considering ranking. I get the angle that Ilya has a big enough name to make a fight with Islam. But in this case, Islam as the champion, the one with the belt that everybody is fighting for, I said I would not give this person the title shot unless he goes through the rank. So you cannot discard rank in this situation.
I think Islam's motivation to always want to be the GOAT, Islam, would make him want to fight Ilya. Now their Ramadan
does to his
their
legacy?
Ramadan right now.
What do you think fighting Ilya does to Islam legacy?
Let me make my point too. The Ramadan is coming up now, and after fasting, he doesn't have a current opponent because he's beating both Poye, he's beating Gaethje, he's beating the ranked fighters up there. The fight
he has given Volkanovski a shot.
And the fight big enough right now that will motivate Islam for all the shit that Ilya is talking. We will have fight, and I predict that fight will be happening International Fight Week. But there are plenty of other news for us to talk about, because if we keep talking about the Ilya move to featherweight, it's such a big news that we might just end up talking about it all through the program. Now on that card, Volk was supposed to fight Ilya 314, the Miami card. Guess who is fighting now? Who is coming? Diego Lopez. How do you see that fight happening? Don't you just think it's Volk too on his own? Like he's been thinking that, okay, I'm going to be having my rematch with Ilya. Now he's facing Diego Lopez, who is young, who is hungry, and who has incredible powers in his hand against an aging Volk that is 36 years old.
Well, Ilya is the first heavy puncher that actually knocked out Volks. You understand? So I don't think Volk is a stranger to power punchers. You understand? And it depends. Not every new cat is Ilya Topuria. You understand? Not every young person can do what Ilya does. You understand? So the fact that a young person in Ilya defeated Volkanovski does not entirely say Volkanovski is washed.
How do you see that fight going? Because I'm going with you too.
I don't think in terms of ground game. In terms of ground game, I don't see Lopez trumping Volkanovski, and Volkanovski can also stand and bang. I
think
Volkanovski has wider range.
I feel his experience will come through too. Will come through in that match. Diego Lopez, this is his second 5-round fight. First 5-round fight.
And I don't think Volkanovski even knows how to fight 3-round fights.
Yes, that's his kind of fight, 5-round fight. And Lopez, even in the fight against Danige that came short notice, Danige arguably he struggled. And I feel that will be
he struggled.
For
a Volkanovski with 3 months training camp would do well. I believe so.
Yes,
I believe so.
You see,
I believe so.
And wow, it's just that Miami card. That 314 is such a big card. Chandler now is fighting Pimblet. Rodriguez is fighting
Chandler Pimblet. I think that's just. I think Chandler would defeat Pimblet in that fight, because Pimblet. I don't think Pimblet has really done anything. He has found a way to win.
It was on an 8-win streak on the UFC, and I feel the UFC knows the reason why they're giving him Chandler. I see him submitting Chandler in the first round. I see Pimblet submitting Chandler.
If anybody is going to beat Chandler, because it won't be first round, because Chandler is an explosive.
Now he said he fought with wisdom.
Chandler's fight is first fight.
If he fought with wisdom, his last fight, where then the third round he came alive, which didn't work out for him, and he's going to come with his whole explosiveness in the first round.
So I don't think Pimblet would defeat him in first round. Pimblet can defeat him by being patient.
Pimblet welcomes it. Well, he welcomes it. He thrives in those kind of chaos now. See his fight against Tony Ferguson. He thrives in those kind of chaos.
Ferguson and Chandler.
Tony
Ferguson washed Tony Ferguson.
Chandler is washed. I don't think
Chandler is as washed as Tony Ferguson.
Agree, but he's entertaining, and the entertaining factor is what the UFC are going. Now the London card is a week. Is 2 weeks. A week after. Before the fight, you look at why didn't they put Pimblet on the London card, since he's a UK boy? But it's intentional. The UFC are doing that, putting him on that Miami card for a reason, because they want, once he gets that and he collects Chandler's 7th position, in my opinion, I feel he just has one more fight to the title. And then you have
In that weight class.
Yes.
How many people are ahead of Chandler? Let me see.
6.
Let me see the feasibility of him getting a title shot. Oliveira is there.
Yeah.
Islam
Oliveira,
is
yeah. Gaethje, Dustin.
He has a long way, and Ilya is there now.
The UFC will figure him out.
And Ilya is there
yes, now. And then that fight now. Even here, in the featherweight now. There's a bigger news now. Mauricio Pitbull is in the UFC.
Rodriguez too is there. He's a long way away from from having a title shot.
Pitbull now is in the mix.
Even Chandler cannot. If Chandler won, if Chandler had fought McGregor, or whoever he wanted to fight, do you think he would have gotten a title shot in his next fight?
No.
So why would beating Chandler and Pimblet a title shot?
No, not a title shot. I mean, he'll have 1 or 2 fights.
He will be in, let's say, first. He's going to take his 7th. He will be in top 5, but he's still about 2 fights away.
Yeah, he's going to take his 7th position. And when he takes that,
he's about 2 fights away from.
And do you know the UFC are building him up intentionally? So I'm sure they're not going to give him a fight. They're not going to give him a fight.
You know, even though he has this entertaining. He does entertaining press conference. He does entertaining post-fight interview. He does, and UFC likes all those kind of people that can rile fans, people that can make fans come back to watch. You understand? But not necessarily. I don't think he has that. He doesn't have that dog in him.
And that big news is Patricio Pitbull joining the UFC. Like, you see what I said about the UFC just trying to body other competition or other competitor. Even when Dana White was announcing it on live, he was still saying, and that promotion.
I just hope. I was hearing some. I think somebody was saying, I hope that in doing all this, he's able to manage the people within the UFC, so that another big news like Ngannou kind of big news would not break out.
I think the bigger news that can break out now will be John Jones and Aspinall.
And they are not finding a way to make that fight. And if Aspinall can say, "Oh, to hell with the UFC, I'm going to a PFL to fight somebody like Ngannou," he'll get shitload of money for that fight.
Who is that?
Aspinall. If Aspinall can say, okay, I have done everything I can do in the heavyweight division, I have nothing to prove. If John Jones is not fighting me, I'm retiring from the UFC. I'm going to somewhere like PFL.
He can't
fight someone like Ngannou.
But he can't.
But he will get a lot of more money for fighting Ngannou in PFL.
He can't fight in any promotion, even if he decides to retire from the UFC.
Why?
Because he's contracted to the UFC. The only way he can fight in any other promotion is if the UFC terminates his own contract. If they don't terminate his contract, the only thing he can do is retire, and he will never. That's why we see Conor McGregor now. All he does is now is facing off with his former rival.
How long is on his?
I'm sure he still has about 6 fight contracts, because he renewed and he had 8 fights contract, and he just fought.
Whatever the case is, I don't want a negative publicity. After doing all this, the last thing the UFC needs is any kind of negative publicity.
But there are still big news. We've not even gotten to half of it all.
I know.
Do you know, Belal is fighting JDM. His initial opponent, Shafkat, is injured. JDM was to fight Leon Edwards in London.
I think Bilal will trump JDM.
Well, as in, no doubt.
I think
the level,
because I mean, I don't see them. I don't even see how JDM is going to. Because Bilal now, have you seen his stand up recently?
But JDM has, in my own opinion, has the best boxing in the welterweight.
Fine,
he's a fine boxer, but the takedown is there.
Bilal can kick you. He can strike you. He can take you down. He has takedown defense.
Yes.
You know, he has experience. Yeah. You understand? He has lost, and recently he has been training with this.
I feel he's just going to. Yes, I feel he's just going to drown him. He's going to drown JDM. But the interesting thing about it is not. You know, Belal has his own way of coming on Instagram and on social media to just say different things. You know what he said now?
What?
He said, I took Leon's belt. Now I've taken his opponent. You know, Leon was supposed to fight JDM. Now he said, I've taken his belt, and now I'm taking his opponent. And now Leon is fighting Sean Brady. And It's already be an incredible fight. But what's up with Shafkat? It's like we are just seeing him every 2 years or every 1.5 years. He seems to be that boogeyman in that division, but keeps getting injured. He will have a fight and gets injured again.
Let me take it back to Romero's time.
Yeah,
you understand. I feel when Romero was in his prime, you know Romero now.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, Romero. He was always having that kind of issues too. You understand? He would fight 2 times, and when he's almost close to getting the title shot, he gets injured. He goes and comes back. He does. So some people are just unfortunate like that. It almost happened to Kamza too. I'm not even sure that Kamza to make that title fight, because I feel there is a cause for him. Anytime he's close to a title shot, he gets injured, or he gets sick, or he develops an infection, or this and that. You understand? Some people are that unfortunate in their career. You understand? They will go down in the UFC Hall of Fame as one of the greats, but they would never be a champion. You understand? They will never be that champion.
Yes, but I feel, from now till the middle of June, like it's just back to back exciting fights, even from the beginning of this year. Now WhatsApp group, someone was mentioning it that he wants to talk about.
Don't take us back. Max Holloway lost. Easy lost. Don't take us back.
But now you some of your prospects are still coming up. We have the 313 card. Pereira, Ankalaev, Gaethje, Danuka. We were talking about Gaethje and Danuka before we started the show. How exciting that fight was going to be. Even
I think the Gaethje, you saw the Fiziev Gaethje fight?
Yes,
it was very.
It was a technical fight. Both of them were in the middle. Like,
I hope that Danuka,
that Fiziev guy is good. Rafael Fiziev, very good.
But you know, there are some people that when you fight, if not that Islam and his elder brother, defeated Gaethje.
Habib.
Sorry, if not that Khabib defeated Gaethje, people have forgotten who Gaethje is. You understand? The way they are forgot. It's almost as if Fiziev came into that fight thinking Gaethje was washed. And Gaethje showed.
Rafael was on a tear there now. It was like on a two match fight winning streak.
And if easily Fiziev could have won anybody in that fight. If he had fought the same way. But Gaethje he has a dog in him.
Wale, but look at this 314 card. Just look at this you hear the fight on this card. Volk is fighting Diego Lopez, the main event. The co-main event, Chandler is fighting Pimblet. Rodriguez is fighting Pitbull. Jeff Neal is fighting Carlos Prates. You know Carlos Prates now? That guy that smokes, he trains in fighting nets. Is a brawler, technical brawler, and that's a gangster. That's going to be a gangster fight. It's going to be a sick fight. Nikita Krylov is fighting Dominic Reyes. Danige is fighting Sean Wilson. Jim Miller is fighting Chase Hooper. That's the main card on itself, on his own. That's 314. 313 is Alex Pereira, we just mentioned.
Danuka.
And Danuka. Then match 12, which is the London card, has Leon Edwards and Sean Brady, Blaovic and Carlos Ulberg. Kevin Lolantu is on the card. And we've not even talked about the preview of our fights that is happening because of the big news that have been happening all around.
Cejudo.
Yes, they're fighting this weekend, and because of all this, because of the big news happening all around, that Dana just shocked us with
commenting. Do you think they should have waited till after the fight night before
announcing the fights?
Announcing those things. Maybe during Dana's post-fight interview, he could have announced it.
Those news are too hot to handle because it's not just one.
I mean, it's not as if Ilya has an opponent yet.
That one alone, that news alone is enough to capture.
Today is Thursday.
Yes, right? It's enough to capture the whole Friday. World.
They are fighting on Saturday.
Yes,
you could have waited 2 days.
The UFC don't wait for anyone.
I don't think Dana did it randomly. He's a very mischievous person.
He was on live. He was on IG.
He's a very mischievous person. Probably, maybe probably Cejudo threatened him for that fight, and he felt like, oh, let's give him.
No. It has nothing to do. It was just them being. It was just them being trying.
I won't take it away from him.
Is their own way of just marketing. This is what they do. Is what the UFC do, regardless of whatever the fight. If you're not a Conor McGregor, whatever the news they bring up cannot overshadow your fight. The UFC just do what they do. We'll talk about it. I'm sure this fight card
is it proper though?
I'm sure this fight card it will bang so hard. Like the fights on the card they are going to be so nice, but we're still going to talk about the Ilya moving up, vacating his belt alone is big news.
But I think we saw it coming. I
didn't see it coming. Ilya vacating is.
We saw it coming because I think one of the watch parties.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned that Ilya does not value having just one belt. He wants to go down as a double champ. You understand?
But he's vacated his belt.
Yeah. He doesn't. Of course, you still go down as double champ.
No, that's not double champ.
One in two categories.
Yeah, double champ is you retaining your belt and then winning the title.
He can come back to still challenge for the belt.
What he will do if he wins, what he will be called if he wins the lightweight will be two division.
Okay.
A 2-division title holder.
I think that's still as good as double champ because
a double champ is you carry your two belts.
If I carry, he could have said. Honestly, he could have said, "Okay, I am moving up."
They won't have given him the fight, and I'm sure that it was wise by him and his team by vacating his belt. That's what I meant by vacating his belt and trying to say, "I'm not holding this division down, but give me what I want, and this is what I want. I want the champ over there." If he was holding his belt down, the UFC would be looking at like, okay, you're big enough a star, but how about if you win?
Volkanovski deprived Ilya of that double champ status. Why? By right, also, Islam has a say in the matter. He can say, okay, I've given somebody from this weight class an opportunity twice. Why should I give another? Why are you not giving me somebody ahead of me?
Who is that? Volk?
He has given Volk the chance about twice.
You mean Ilya?
Yeah, Islam fought.
Okay, yes, he fought him twice.
Yeah, so he has given Volk, somebody below his weight class, the chance to get his belt twice. You understand? So why should he give another person from the weight? It doesn't make any sense.
Ilya is big enough in name. I feel that's what will happen though. They're going to give him the title fight. Both of them are going to come to an agreement because that fight is such a big card.
They give Ilya the title fight. Why what would be the justification for vacating this belt when it could have been double champ? He's played his card both ways, Ilya. If he goes up and wins the lightweight title, he stays there. I'm sure he's going to have a rematch with Islam, which is going to be a bigger fight. And hold on, please. For him to challenge
but if he loses the fight, he has a chance to go back down to his division and face the current champion. Do you know what? If Volk wins Diego Lopez, it still boils down to Ilya Volk. It's just that Volk is now the one with the title. If Volk wins Diego Lopez, and if Diego Lopez wins Volk, and it comes back down to fight, and Ilya comes back down to fight, it still comes down to the same thing. He's fighting someone that took his belt, that he vacated his belt for. So he's probably thought about it both ways, him and his team, and he favors him. I mean Ilya. He's going to go up, fight the lightweight, come down, either ways. But if he wins the lightweight, it's going to be a bigger rematch with Islam.
Do you think that if he wins the lightweight and he wins the rematch with Islam,
win the rematch?
I'm saying. I mean, if he wins Islam in the first fight,
yes,
and does
they have a rematch,
beats Islam, do you think it will be hard for him to still go up to Bilal?
That's 170. How are we thinking ahead of ourselves now?
Some people, for example, somebody like Alex Pereira, it won't take a lot of weight gaining for him to be able to fight in the heavyweight.
Can't you see? Alex is just touring the whole world. His fight is 2 weeks. I hope you know.
And now
his fight is 2 weeks from now. He's not in camp. Magomed is just quiet. We are not hearing anything. He's in camp training. Alex was in Canada on Monday.
Maybe Alex just want to get the payday from the last.
Guess who of all people he was bumping fist with and shaking? The cause of MMA. Drake, that whoever he puts money on or whoever he bets on end up losing. He was at his concert. He was at Drake concert, high-fiving him and shaking him, and his fight is just 2 weeks.
That might be what he's putting out for us to see
in 2 weeks. But that's not typical Alex. Do you know what I feel? What? This is what I feel is going to happen. Every time he's lost, anyway, we only have one sample as an example to go by. Every time he's lost, he's gone up. When he lost against Israel, he went to lightweight.
So you're thinking that he's just using it as a ladder for heavyweight.
You catch my vibe. Now my vibe. If I feel Magomed is going to win him, and when he wins him,
I don't think Magomed is.
You don't think he's going to win Alex?
I mean, I checked. Like I had to like go back to see what is that special thing about. He knocks out people more than he takes. He knocks out people more than he submits people.
Yeah.
So he's comfortable.
You mean Magomed?
Yes.
Okay.
Ankalev.
Yes.
He knocks out people more than he submits people. Like I've seen a number of fights where he won by just knocking out people.
Yeah.
You understand? I feel he should not try it against Alex, because presently I don't see who will stand and
we'll probably just see the stakes down and wrestling that we've always heard. We've always like he's a wrestler. But
I've not seen the Ankalev.
Maybe now we'll see him now.
We have also heard that Pereira has been training. Has been doing some wrestling training.
No, but we've not seen videos. What we've seen is him boxing South Korean boxers.
Exactly. And from what you have seen,
yes.
Let's speak on what we have seen.
Yeah.
From what you have seen, Ankalev striking versus Pereira striking.
Now everyone knows. No matter how,
you see why it was easy for me to say Pereira would win the fight.
But now we are looking at precedent. Now your fight is 2 weeks. As you said, by what we see, you have a title fight in 2 weeks.
But we are not seeing Ankalev's training too.
Generally, when we see fighters that have those kind of fights go silent, we know what they are doing. He's not sleeping now. He's not playing poker in a casino somewhere.
What's the name of this Brazilian guy that Israel fought that armed after the fight?
Paulo Costa
too. We did not see his fight. We thought he was going to murder Israel. Well, he came. He said he drank wine.
We know their disciplines are different. What I'm trying to say now is Alex has a fight in 2 weeks, and our typical Alex, at least we see him churning out 1 or 2 videos of him in training camps. Yes, but right now what we are seeing of him is him going to concerts, fighting South Korean boxers. I'm not saying he's not training. Obviously, he's a professional. He even has. Right now, I'm sure he's shedding weight.
He might be playing posomo. It might just be, misleading Ankalev.
And at the same time,
it might just be misleading Ankalev.
And at the same time, it might just be him.
It might just be nonchalant.
Knowing that even if he loses, all he needs to do is go. And that will now even cause a disruption in the heavyweights, because now what happens? We have 3 big names in the heavyweight now. It will now be John Jones.
I think they will give Aspinall Pereira
if he goes up,
because I feel of the 3.
Yeah. Would it now be
of the 3 of Aspinall, Pereira, and John Jones? John Jones is the least willing to fight.
Would it now be for the undisputed?
Of course, they have to put something. They have to threaten John Jones. Okay.
If it's for the undisputed, that means they will have to take the belt off.
Yeah. Because that's why I said they would have to threaten.
Uncle Dana won't do that now. You know that. He will never strip his beloved.
And he will come.
His beloved John Jones of the belt.
And say, that you said that's a very stupid question. I don't make the fight. Yeah. Of course, he does every single thing. Him and to negotiation of contracts, determining who gets what. He does every single thing.
We know Dana is just a talk, but our producers are saying our time is limited. And we've not been able to talk about the fights on this weekend fight card. Yeah. Just let's briefly talk about it. How do you see the Henry Cejudo and Sunday Dong going?
I think I think Yadong will win. I think because I think he has momentum, he has youth, he has he can weather the storm no matter how Cejudo is coming at him. Cejudo would find it hard taking him down because I mean I've seen a lot of his.
So you're underrating Cejudo's wrestling?
No, I'm not underrating Cejudo's wrestling. You understand?
So you are overestimating Son Yadong's takedown defense.
I am banking on sheer what momentum can do to you. You understand? You understand the fact that Cejudo might not be as hungry as Yadong because Cejudo has been champion before. You understand? If we are talking about who will bring out the dog more in that fight, I think Yadong will bring out because he's hungrier.
Yes.
He has never been a champion. Cejudo, Triple C, he has been champion of different weight classes. He has seen it. You understand? He's just fighting the fight like another payday. I think Yadong is fighting for something more than just getting paid.
I think I'll be going with you too. I feel Song is going to just overwhelm him. The first round, I feel Henry now is more concerned about bringing up young fighters and just sharing his knowledge, either on his podcast with Usman or otherwise. And the age is gone on his side. The years of wrestling, you know what it takes natural.
To be when you lose that spark.
Yeah,
you don't just
you can't get it. You can't just get it back. So. But the years of wear and tear on his body, it's not easy to be an Olympian elite wrestler, even now fighting in mixed martial arts. So I feel Son Yadong too is going to beat him and win him.
Who was his first fight after retirement?
Henry. It was Merab dominated him.
Yeah, there was a big fight he had. There was a big name he fought
after it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, then 4 years ago, then he came back. That was against Merab now.
Yeah, after Merab, has he fought anybody else?
No. Then he went offline again.
I remember he was very dominated in that fight.
Yes,
like I was thinking, they won't take him down, but the Cejudo,
Merab wrestled him. That's the way Merab wrestled Usman.
Merab is the most underrated.
I agree with you on that. So the
fighter in the UFC presently,
yes,
is the most underrated because you just see him as one clown that doesn't take.
He's on pound. He's on pound on the pound for pound now. Pound for pound list.
But he takes anybody down.
Yeah.
He takes anybody down. I have not seen somebody that he fought that he did not take down.
Beyond
even this
Usman.
Umar.
Yeah.
They were all saying, is this, is that. He took Umar down.
Beyond this Merab's wrestling, that guy, cardio, number one.
You saw how he was. You saw he was giving this South African guy. This our white champ. Duplessis.
Yeah.
I was giving Duplessis some tips about how to defend takedowns.
Yeah.
You understand? For somebody that small beside Duplessis, you see how he almost dominated Duplessis in that mix-up. So it goes into having sound knowledge of what you do.
Yeah.
You understand? Regardless of who you put against him, he understands what it takes to do to dominate them. So and that's a very, very rare thing to say in the UFC. That is defined by weight categories.
Yes.
You understand? Somebody that can stand his ground against anybody.
And the co-main event is Brendan Allen and Fluffy Hernandez. You know Hernandez, Anthony Hernandez, Fluffy.
I'm rooting for Fluffy Hernandez.
Yes.
Brendan.
I like Fluffy too.
I've seen him lose too many times. Like it doesn't.
And I've betted against Fluffy severally. He actually won. Yeah, he's always winning. So, in fact, he enjoys being the underdog. He's been the underdog in most of his fights in the UFC, and
some people thrive on not being popular.
You've seen his body type now. He looks like a prime Kelvin Gastelum. The way he looks, unassuming,
compact.
He looks like you will not even think this guy is a fighter. But man, that guy, he dominates fighters, and we have him front on the fights. But above all, we are going to have a great night, of fights that weekend too. This weekend too, Better Birth and Bible too is fighting. In boxing.
Bible.
Yeah. Bible too.
I think Bible is winning that fight anyways.
But it was a close fight, their first fight.
It doesn't matter.
Everyone thought Better Birth
Gustafsson and John Jones was close the first time. What happened the second time? I mean, he dominated Gustafsson, but it doesn't. All those close, it was close first time. It doesn't. There are things that maybe it was an off day for Bivol in the first fight. You understand?
Yes.
But I'm banking on the skill set Bivol possesses.
The moves that the UFC is making on their, would I call them their competitors? They're not competitors. The Bellators, the likes of Bellators, LFC, they're not. I don't see them as,
because I mean, we put them as competitors because they would easily poach anybody from the UFC. They had the power.
They hunt. What the UFC does is
they hunt Bellator and PFL fighters.
It seems that that's what they're doing. They're just weakening their tires, the tires of their truck. They just hunt their best, if not the best fighter, if not their best fighter, their most starry fighter, MVP, now Pitbull.
You see something, Ngannou defeating that tall Brazilian guy. What's his name?
Okay. Yes.
PFL.
Yes. In PFL. I'm trying to remember his name.
Ferreira.
Yes.
Or something.
Yes. Ferreira.
Yeah. Ngannou defeating him did more for the UFC than it actually did for the PFL.
Do you know?
Let me tell you why. Because there was this notion that anybody that comes from the UFC would dominate any other fight competition.
Well, it's been proven right now.
And time and again, you see that it happens. So there is this belief in everybody's mind that UFC is the creme de la creme of this competition.
But it is,
and I have to be there for me to get the recognition I want. So it's normal. You understand? It's normal for all these things to happen.
And Dana had a slight dig at Bellator when he said, now that Pitbull is 2 division title holder in Bellator. He didn't call Bellator. He said in the other promotion. But now he's coming to the UFC to come and be facing the best fighters. That was a slight dig at Bellator.
Local champion is coming to the League of Champions.
Yes, he fight. But I feel Pitbull is way past his prime. He's good, but giving him a year regress. Anyway,
it's going to be like the Chandler.
Yes,
it's not going to be different.
Yes,
you're coming to where a lot of people are champions, a lot of people are very
have names too.
So you just be normal. You'll be respected, but you'll be normal.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and overall, we fight lovers is a good time for us. Beyond all the circumstances that is happening to us in our world,
a lot of things to argue about.
The economically and everything, the what's happening outside at the outside world, we can always talk about fight and enjoy our time.
In the midst of all the crazes happening, I mean, there is a solace in MMA.
Yes, so. We look forward to fights, and to our audience watching us, we say thank you. We see your comments.
I recommend for people to subscribe so they can enjoy what you enjoy. Don't be selfish about it.
Thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Wally, for coming as usual. And guys, it's a wrap, yo.